Why, hello there, and welcome to this entourage of or decoupage of some garden photos. Our garden didn't quite get going until very late summer into fall, but here you can see some sweet potato flowers and other such wonders. We tried experimenting with some different kinds of foods like a Malabar spinach and a Egyptian spinach, which didn't quite get off the ground. Also a chayote squash. We're looking for what will grow in a hotter climate because hey, we're moving there. So here I'm going to be recording some little tidbits about this last year because I didn't do it on my actual fall or whatever. And I wanted to just say that, it's not an easy time to live here. We just voted in Trump here at this turn of the year. I'm actually recording this in 2025, looking back at late 2024, and I saw it coming. I saw it coming at the beginning of the year. But knowing it's coming feels different than it does. And now it's just like, you know, actually, I guess I don't have words. Let me move on. Well, I did want to talk a little bit about some of the cultural changes that I've seen. I used to watch this guy, Ben Falk, on YouTube, permaculture stuff. And in this whole process, he came out with this big support for RFK, and that really freaked me out. And then lately, he's been talking about how Um, it's not that climate change is a hoax. It's just that it's not going to get you anywhere and you can't do anything about it. But what you can do is, oh, and it makes you feel bad. But what you can do, is plant food and live your life and uh just do that. And I understand that point of view, and I also agree that all the climate movements have just been ineffective. And it was big talk this last year about the COP, what was it, 29 or COP 30? I don't even know which one we're on now, but how ineffective that was and whether it should even be continued. That was also somewhat of the conversation the year before. There are ways that things have changed. There's this other creator I watch, Park Rose Permaculture, and she found that she could make more money to support her family on TikTok, and was very successful there with this kind of new way that she records like herself talking in phrases, and it's very blah 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 blah. But oh look, we're looking at how we want our yard to drain, um, which is good. We've been working on that project forever. But anyway, I diverge. So, in the process of everything that's going on, and right after Trump got elected, she got
Not the
demonetized on
sweet
her
potato.
TikTok.
What
And there
about
was
up
a
here? Is
wave
this
of
flower?
people who were demonetized on TikTok. And so now she's posting that kind of content or on YouTube because she's still able to make some um, money off of her YouTube account. And it's just like additional stuff. So anyway, but it's a very real change in um how I perceived her before. other things have changed like that. Like driving around, we noticed, Tori and I, that all the bumper stickers had changed. They ended up being like this statement about liberty, and then having being like dark blue with these 4 stars. And that was like right after the election. And there was this little lift of driver aggression during that time. Like people were not as on your ass as before. But then, like within 2 weeks, that just disappeared. Don't see those bumper stickers anymore. And people are back to being up your ass and just obnoxious for the most part. And, um, yeah, just in need of some driving etiquette in my area. Other things I wanted to talk about because, time flies. I actually have a little list here. And one of the things I wanted to talk about was because I think this is going to be more for me looking back at my life than anyone else. And I want to remember this time where Tori is going for his first coding certificate and has figured out a way to create opportunity for himself, which is just something I admire so much about him. I love him so much. Very grateful he's in my life. And then this is also here at the beginning of 2025, we're approaching Ellie's last semester at college. And hell yeah, very happy for her. She's so excited. She is just looking forward to no longer being, tied to a school. Now, that might sound funny since she is going to be graduating with a licensure in teaching um, art in uh, public schools in Chesterfield County, Virginia. Um, at this point in time, she really just doesn't want to do any of that. And you can understand why. Have you ever seen any of these videos of teachers talking about classroom behavior of children these days and how difficult it is to um, do anything in the public school settings that are available? Well, if you happen upon that, you'll just be horrified. Well, let me tell you a little story where my mom was horrified. So she's going to the synagogue to drop off some donations um, from herself and other people. And she approaches the receptionist and says, da 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 da, here are these donations. And the receptionist, who's a very young girl, very new, she looks at one of the checks and she says, well, I can't take this because this is in cursive. I can't read it. What does this say?
What you
And there
doing,
was
Belle
more to the
Katie?
story to that, but it was just incredible to um finally hear a
Will you come in the
story
garden?
where the curriculum has changed. People don't write
Are you hunting
with their
voles?
hands, and
What you
people
doing, Belle
certainly don't
Katie?
learn how to write in cursive anymore in grade school. And since they don't learn that, they don't know how to read cursive. So there's going to be like a whole swath of history and communication unavailable. Um, So there's that little story about, you know, cul- cultural changes and wild shifts. Yeah, so I've been trying to scale down, and I'm also, Ellie's going to be graduating, so I'm looking to make that move into an elevation above 300 feet. That will be coming up at the end of this year, and I'm a little freaked out about it because I still haven't gotten over the move to this property. This is a lovely property. The house just is way overwhelming with needs, and I don't want to do all that. I'd rather just get to where I'm going to be. Look at our little guinea pig team here. This was when we were stupid and thought they would all just magically go together. They're just stunned at this moment, so they it didn't end up, you know. You'll see in another photo where Fabio gets his own um living situation. But anyway, moving on. So my future plans is I'm at the point where I'm ready to teach the five elements form to other teachers to teach. I need to pass along the value of this beautiful gift and this you know body mindfulness practice. It deserves to live on in the world, and I think it would benefit a lot of people. Um, so I'm right now writing my training manual for that course, and I hope to be offering it soon. Like, be great to get it up and running by this April. That, of course, though, is going to include having a whole new YouTube channel. Already have a website. It's going to be called teach5e.org because teach the five elements form of Tai Chi is just like really long. Another creative outlet, or another outlet, which is more creative and solar punk wise, is going to be my tarot telling solar punk YouTube channel and a ttsp blog wordpress.com blog that reflects stories that come out of a tarot telling solar punk episodes. Blah, blah, blah. Right now, I'm considering how am I going to ask people to come on these episodes. I have no idea. I'm wondering who would want to play. I have my friend Aaron, who is not afraid to be on video, who might participate. He lives in Thailand. That would be interesting. And I'm considering asking some of the scientists and people that I've followed on YouTube because, first of all, I think that they would be okay with being on YouTube. And I like the fact that they aren't, they come from different kinds of backgrounds, or I don't know. Eh. Last but not least, I'm still continuing to work on my depression. I found lately that if I do emotional freedom tapping, saying like, even though I am Monique Cherie, I can still blah, 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 blah. That has been working so well because just stating my name is like the totality of the whole thing I got to deal with. The whole thing I got to deal with is myself. The whole thing you got to deal with is yourself. So I think that you all should make sure that you be well, that you dream well, and that you get up and do something for the well being of the planet, which doesn't include using fossil fuels. Oh, also, new cultural word, sane washing. What the hell?